Now, okay, let me try something more difficult. In Zulu, which is the language I come from in South Africa, Sanbonani, Kunjani na, Ngiyaphila, means how are you? Greeting, hello, how are you? I am fine. Finding our shared humanity remains the greatest human development challenge of the 21st century. So growing up, I became politically active, and racism was a daily part of our lives. And I remember as a teenager, probably 14 or 15, going to my first political rally. It was a room as big as this, but there were 2,000 people in it. So it was packed like sardines. Lutheran church. And I was going to listen to Steve Biko. Now, some of you know who Steve Biko is? Okay, now you know how old I am, okay? And he was a student leader. He was a revolutionary. And he was charismatic. And we had all gone to listen to him. And as we were walking to the hall, these security police pulled up with big cars, and they jumped out in the hot summer's afternoon. They were dressed in jackets, big overcoats, but you could see the guns underneath. They came into the church, and they sat in the front row there. You all don't look like security police to me. But, so sure, are they going to arrest Steve Biko? And he came up and he said, Amanda! Oh. Say, Amandla! Say it, Amandla! It means power. Wetu is ours. Power is ours. Do not be afraid. That was his response. And so he made the speech he had to make. One of the things he said then was, because we had very clear division in South Africa. You're either black or you're white. There's no gray. Things are more difficult today. There's lots of gray. And he said, you have nothing to lose but your change. You're either for justice and freedom, or you are for accepting apartheid and oppression. And so, yes, he said, we as black people should not be bystanders in a game where we should be playing. And so that's what inspired me to become politically active. And then I worked as a student activist. 1976 came, and there was a big uprising of students rejecting the imposition of Afrikaans as a language. But we stood up, believing that freedom was around the corner. It was 1976. They smashed us. Thousands were detained. Thousands fled into exile. And they murdered Steve Biko in a very brutal way. And so, in spite of them bombing our buildings and murdering many activists and detaining tens of thousands of people, we did succeed in forcing a stalemate. So by the late 1980s, we knew that change was in the air, and that we could not defeat them, but they could not defeat us. In a sense, the option was a scorched earth, which no one wanted. And so what's unique about it is that was helped a lot by solidarity we got from people. And that's the period in which I was going across Canada talking to audiences like this, building people-to-people solidarity. In spite of many governments in the West, particularly the United States and United Kingdom, supporting the apartheid government, the support of ordinary people is what defeated those governments with that agenda. And so, let me quote again another great leader, Martin Luther King, who said, change does not roll in on the wheels of inevitability, but comes through continuous struggle. And so we must straighten our backs and work for our freedom. A man can't ride you unless your back is bent. And if you add to that what Gandhi said, there is sufficiency in the world for man's needs, not for man's greed. Become part of the change you want to see in the world. And so we find ourselves bereft of leadership today at the global stage. Trust has broken down, but courageous men and women will rise from the grassroots, and they will work quietly and painstakingly in the trenches, challenging poverty, inequality, hunger, and exclusion. They will shun the celebrity stage and help build real values. Because across the world, that's what I say. I see a growing awareness of the plight that humanity faces and a smoldering fire of social activism.